everyone. Nathan. Oh, Nathan just thumbs upped it on on WhatsApp. Hi
Great.
everyone. So my name is Dagna. I'm an ex-prison officer. I was a prison officer for about 5.5, 6 years. And with me, I've got Fran.
Hello. I served 3 years, 8 months behind bars.
So yeah, we just get together. It seems like it's gonna be a routine now because it's our second live in 2 weeks. So yeah, we just talk about everything that we've seen about prison and from both sides of the door. From
Yeah.
the one who held the keys and
Yeah.
from the one who was
The
on the
one
other
we
side of
despise
them.
to the one I despise. No, I'm joking. You're not all scum. You're not all scum.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't know what you was like because didn't lock me up, so you know.
I know.
I'll
I
take
was
your word
apparently
for
one
it,
of the
John.
good ones.
You're
But that's,
you're super.
yeah. I was like, I was one of the nice ones apparently. I say nice ones. I wasn't always nice. I was fair. I
Yeah.
was fair. That's what a lot of the lads said, that like I knew how to pick my battles in a way.
See,
I knew like where to draw that line and just like not
yeah,
pointlessly argue with someone. If I got respected, they absolutely got respect. But if I was treated like an idiot, I'm
yeah.
ginger, so like that was coming out.
See, my experience was you would hate it when the old school officers were on, like the old, like they were like just
Brutal.
assholes. But I did used to say to everyone, on the flip side, you knew where you stood. There was no treating someone different to someone else unless they was a racist officer. You just knew. So you just knew where you stood. Whereas I could have an officer like yourself that's sound and you would get away wearing sliders and having your music blaring, but that officer can have a bad day and then the next day they're IEPing you for wearing sliders and having your music on loud
Yeah,
or start having a go at you. And that's what I couldn't deal with, is the inconsistency. So one minute you want to
100%.
come and be my pal, and then the next minute you don't want to be my pals. It's like, make your mind up. Just be consistent with your
Hi, Golden
rules.
Girl. Sorry. Hi. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, I found it infuriating, even for myself as a member of staff, where one person would say one thing and promise the lads the world, and then go home and
Yeah.
not deliver, or say, "Oh yeah, I'll do A, B, and C for you," and then just completely ignore them or wind them up on purpose and then just walk away. And I was there like, dude, yesterday you were absolutely fine with them, so what is your problem today? Or it's because he said A, B, and C. And I'm like, well, you're a grown up. You can possibly decide to maybe not take it personally.
Yeah.
Crazy idea. The amount of times I was called a ginger bitch and all of that, I was like, that's a pet name for me. Like, can you do one better? Can you do something like interesting, creative, make it hurt?
No.
Hi, Lucia. Hi. Hi, Adam.
If guys in the chat, if any of you guys have got any questions, if you've just joined, I'm an ex-prisoner and this is an ex-prison officer. So if you got any
Yeah, so
questions, then fire away.
I've been an officer for about 5, 6 years in a male jail. So that's a completely different experience to what obviously Fran has, because Fran was A, on the other side of the door, and B, she was in a female jail. So I've got no experience in that at all. I never had any interest in going into female estate whatsoever because it's brutal.
Yeah,
Oh,
she,
yes, we
yes,
do.
she's a prison pig. That's what she is. Trust me, they're just officers that didn't make it into the police force, so they come and
Yeah.
they come and treat us
We
like
literally,
scum.
hi Maria, hi, yeah, yeah. Stop swearing. I'll try.
I'll never stop. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that'll never stop with me. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's literally them buttons holding it. I know I need to lose weight. Okay, we all know that. So please don't call me out. um, but what was I gonna say? I've already forgotten. What was I going to say?
Track now.
Oh yeah, the screws are the ones who didn't get into police. I was literally saying that. No, but I was literally saying that to you the other night, weren't I?
Yeah.
It's literally, I could never join police. A, I wouldn't want to, and B, the level of fitness you need to be at, that is not my life. I told you the only thing I run is my mouth and a bath. That's it. I don't run. I have no interest in dealing with the general public. Just no. Just absolutely no. Someone because in the prison and work ex-police gone into police. That is literally quite true. We had a lot of police officers coming into prison, or we had either staff go to police and then come back to us for some reason. They just didn't like the police force at all. So yeah, that was all right. Okay, thanks. I don't know if that's for Fran or me.
You.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, what did you do to decompress after a tough shift? Oh, that's a good one. I can't pass the bleep test, so I'm an OSG. I relate to that so much. I've only kept on being an officer because we weren't retested fitness-wise.
We for us, we was allowed to wear our own clothes. We literally had our own clothes in prison.
That's actually, do you know, it's interesting because I've literally been talking on Instagram to this lassie from the States. And she did a stint in a jail. So it wasn't like a full-on prison. It was more like under year-long sentences, very like petty things, stuff like that. People that like were on remand kind of thing. And obviously they all wear their orange jumpsuits and stuff like that. But she said they weren't allowed any of the clothes. They couldn't even keep a hair bubble as females. They had to buy hair bubbles off the commissary.
Bloody hell.
Like to a point where they couldn't even she said in some counties they couldn't even keep their own underwear. They had to wear prison underwear that was obviously like reused.
Yeah, man. Nah. Because obviously you get prison underwear. Like you could even get boxers in the female establishment. But
yeah, we had boxes, we had socks, obviously like sweatpants, stuff like that. But I
actually think they come brand new though. I think the underwear did come brand new.
She did ask me that. Right?
I'm sure they did.
She asked me if we were giving out the brand new stuff or not.
The clothes were second hand. Because obviously you could get prison issue tracksuits and all that, shorts, vests, all that stuff. That is all second hand. I think I've got a box here. Hold on, is it in here? A prison vest and stuff. Yeah, look. So
no way, you still got it.
Yeah, I've got. This is the laundry bag that you had to put your laundry in, otherwise you weren't allowed.
Bag. Yes.
This is the girls' prison issue shorts. That's the shorts for the summer. No way. Yeah, that's old school Pete, and this is the vest.
Yeah. Oh,
this was the best in Send. It brings out the colour of my eyes though. You can't see in this dark, but yeah, that's the vest. And they were made in I think, where were they made? They were made in one of the prisons. It actually says Foston Hall. They were made in Foston Hall. Yeah, that Foston Hall prison.
Right, let me just have a look at this. Vic, first of all, hello, because I didn't say hi. What did you do to decompress after a tough shift? Not shift, shift. And it really depended what kind of tough shift it was, whether it was physically demanding, because I was literally on an A shift, so it's like an all day long shift from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock at night. That was a killer. It was literally just sometimes I wouldn't even put music in the car. I just wanted a bit of peace and quiet, because on the wing there was always some kind of noise, always, or the beeping of the cell bells. Or the cell bells. No,
that's actually mine with my prison number.
No way.
You see it?
Yeah. As if
Yeah.
you bought it.
Toothbrushes with HMP on it. You obviously
Do you know what?
recognise them.
Oh my God, do you know what I found recently? I don't know where I've put it. I
But
found an app from someone and a menu from someone that I must have
I've got the
stashed in a
menu.
cupboard.
Food menu here. That's the food menu.
Oh, I need to
I've
find the
got
one that we had.
I've got the canteen sheet. I've got literally everything. Like this is just
Did
one
you?
page of our canteen sheet that we could order.
Yeah.
Like
Did you
it was
get
insane.
was it different in different prisons? Because I know that some can
Yeah,
get
so
like kiosk.
private prison was horrific. Like you couldn't get
Wow.
hardly anything, but in the government prison, literally, I'm
Yeah.
talking tuna, sweet corn, all fruit, fresh fruit, like
Yeah.
it's on the other sheet. But like you get kiwis, bananas, everything, grapes. But every tin food you could possibly think of, literally, is on here. Like our all sauces, jerk sauce, barbecue sauce, vinegar. These are bottles, soya sauce, like mixed
Mm. Oh,
olives.
I wish I still had
It
our
just,
canteen sheets.
I can
Show
even,
them again.
I can send you a picture. So that's like a food menu.
So ours was like
So,
sort of vertical and you was going vertical. No, horizontal, I'm lying. It was
so
horizontal and you had like
yeah,
day by day. But have you got a canteen
that's
sheet?
yeah. 2 seconds. So that's one page. But let me just get the actual sheet. Hold on, because I think it's in here still. Because there's loads of pages to it.
I can't believe, you know what, that I've not kept because I literally found like a scrunched up menu from someone that I just took home one
So, for
day.
example, it has the amount of money at the top
Yeah,
there, look,
we had the same
and then it
ones.
has my name and prison number, and then
Yeah.
that's all the stuff that you can obviously order from on there. Um, and then there's this other sheet that you'll remember as well. And I just put it there. Everything you wanted to do was on an app. So if you wanted to go to the healthcare, if you wanted to like dentist or
Yeah.
gym or
So like
chapel
a
or
general app.
whatever, yeah.
Um, Lucia, can I just ask you? So I've added you as a mod. Could you please, since no one messes with you, can you just keep an eye out on them comments? Just a couple of them was
Just
just a
block
bit,
them. My
yeah,
opinion is
just a
just
bit weird. I just can't keep up with it.
yeah.
So it just helps if someone else keeps an eye on them as well. Um, or force. So yeah, so because someone, what was the uniform for the inmates? I mean, if someone couldn't, like, didn't have their own clothes or couldn't bring their own clothes, we would give them literally prison issue socks, boxes, like grey sweatpants.
Grey
I think
tracksuit
it was
basically. It was a
grey
grey plain
tracksuit.
jumper, no hood, grey
No,
joggers, and then you'd have a vest, shorts and t-shirt, what I just showed
they
you for
wouldn't.
the
I
summer.
don't think. I don't think they even gave tank tops in our jail, like vests. And it was literally just t-shirts. To get
Fucking hell.
anything from our jail was rough. To give them like raincoats and stuff like that, just like a cover, like a very thin cover, just to like keep away the rain. Like that was
Oh, we never
unheard
got
of.
rain covers, coats. That wasn't a thing.
Oh, really? Did you
Yeah.
get curtains? Could you get
Oh
curtains
yeah,
from
yeah,
the?
for your bedroom and that. Yeah, you get yeah, curtains, but you was only allowed it so often and stuff as well. Like you couldn't just go and get curtains every week from the
No.
stores. You go stores, that's it.
Uh, have you ever thought about shagging an inmate? No. And I can tell you that with absolutely dead serious face. No, never. My taste in men doesn't include the incarcerated ones.
I was gonna say, but I wouldn't see it as a bad thing if you did, because we're all human, so you can still find someone good looking just because they're behind bars. It doesn't mean you want to have a relationship where you're actually going to do it.
I
So there's
get
a
where you're coming from, but I think, I mean, I'll rephrase it. So it's not that I've never looked at a prisoner and thought, you're attractive. Like, as a man, you are attractive.
Yeah.
But I would have never, that thought of crossing that professional boundary was
Yeah.
never in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
It was
course.
always like we could have banter, like I'm as crude as, as they call me. We can have banter all we can and stuff like that. But if we still have that boundary and we know when someone tries to push push it a little bit too far, that's where it stops. But I've never, again, it's not that I never found any of them attractive. It's about the actual thought, or maybe never, because I think it would have been a massive, like, just crossing that line. And I think it might be a controversial thing for me, but I think it's also a personal thing for me. The females that are going in as officers and are shagging inmates, it's so embarrassing for the rest of us. It's just, they should be given genuine sentences, not few months. It's, you're abusing the power.
Yeah, there
I
was
would
one
treat it,
officer.
I would treat it as a statutory ape, because they don't, like, yes, you can say, well, they've got a choice as prisoners, but at the same time, you're in prison. Some of them are in for a long time. They've not seen their girlfriends or, not seen a girl in years. So you're in uniform, you're holding those keys, you're holding that power, and you actively go out and engage in that kind of thing. That's a huge abuse of power to me.
Yeah, like there was one officer that was bringing in drugs and shit. She got caught. She was in my prison, and she got like 10 months. Was it 10 months or something like that? She got 2 years. She was going to serve 10 months. It's like, hang on a minute. You've got a duty of care. You've got like, you've got keys. You're doing the most corrupt thing in the most corrupt place. Like, it's like, how do you get such a little sentence?
It's a
How?
misconduct in
It's
public
fucked.
office.
That's what I'm
It just
saying.
blows my mind.
Especially when the men sleep with the female prisoners, because a lot when you go into prison, like I found a lot of vulnerable prisoners, like a lot.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot of women, so you're just a grown ass man sleeping with vulnerable girls. That it's insane. Honestly, the stuff I could tell you is just insane.
I've got a
Like,
question on
mm,
that line. Vic, I have seen your question about the support and therapy and stuff like that. And Robson, yes, I have seen your comment as well. Thanks, babe. But just about that, because I went on a podcast a couple of weeks ago with DM Laments, and he
mm,
asked me whether I think that women don't have space when it comes to being officers in male jails, because obviously you've got a lot of stories coming through, and it's just blown up. Every day you get an article saying a female officer shagged a con.
mm.
And I thought to myself, well, you don't really hear those stories from female jails. Male officers doing that to female prisoners.
Yeah.
Is that a huge thing? Like,
It was a huge thing back in the day, but it is a big thing. But I think half the prison governors and that turn a blind eye to it, because there was one woman that was with another girl, off prison officer. She was with a girl. And what they done was, rather than go through the whole process of catching her, they just what's it called? When you're on the first 6 months probation. So they just failed her probation, rather
okay,
than, because it's private, so they don't want the publicity. There was another guy that was like used to say to the girls, "I'm going to bring some makeup in, nail varnish in."
yeah.
Sorry, it's been a long day for me. I'm trying to get my words out. I'm shattered. I'll bring makeup in, and this color will look good on your hand, with your hand round my.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, it's insane. Like, a lot does go on, and myself have experienced female officers doing some madness with me. So, not as in literally that I slept with any, but
No, but I remember you telling me the
yeah,
little bag of peanuts story.
Oh yeah, that was a governor and all, but this was another one that was getting her friend to email me off a prison account. She email a prisoner she made up, and she was emailing me from her mate's account. Like, yeah.
It's just, yeah, I just find it mad that people don't really bring the men that are doing that to women into attention, but everyone's like, well, women shouldn't be in male jails.
I think
And it's like,
women.
actually, women in male jails bring sometimes the volume down because you get, burly
That's like
blokes walking around and everyone just wants to fight each other. And then we come in and it's like, whoa.
But then that's the flip side with the women. You've got so many, and so many women officers are in relationship with each other, like girls and girls,
Yeah,
girls and men. And so you have all that energy. It sounds weird. The women officers can be really bitchy. So you've got all females as well. You know what we're like anyway? We're a fucking nightmare. And you combine all that lot together. So when the male does come in, it does change the tone,
just,
because I
yeah,
found the women were really spiteful. Some of the officers were really spiteful. So
I
when the
can
men
vouch
come
for
in,
that.
they're chilled. They're just chilled, and they're like, "Oh, I just want an easy shift." So, you know what I mean? They're just like, "Go on, girls, just, behave," sort of
That
thing.
was me. I was coming onto some of the wings, and the lads were just kicking off because, oh, he's told me this, he's told me that, and I'm like, can we just? I was like, I've not had my coffee yet. I'm not in the mood. So can you just please wind it down? All I want to do is unlock you for your yard. Thank you. Um, right, I'll just reply to Vic because she's waited a long time now. Tough job, good sense of humor always helps. And it's not just good sense of humor, it's a very dark sense of humor, may I add. And the previous question was, does the prison service provide any support or therapy for dealing with that level of stress and risk? I'm just laughing because it's an excellent question, and I would love to ask that question to my old governor. Because technically there is a lot in place. In theory, on paper, there is something called PAM assist. It's like, oh no, the cats are coming out. Don't do that to me.
It's all right. He
Oh,
just wants
bless
to
him.
say hello.
I'm just distracted now.
Sorry.
Yeah, so there is obviously PAM assist. There is every jail will have like a care team that you can go to and speak
Oh,
to when you need, or speak to your manager, get occupational health, and then they refer you further for whatever reason. I had to engage in that once after a bad incident. I was telling my manager, like, I'm trauma risk management trained. So I was like sort of scoring myself a day after the incident, a week after the incident, a month after. And I kept saying to him, my brain isn't processing it properly. I'm still having nightmares, bad flashbacks. Like I'm getting really anxious for no reason. And I said, please book me in occupational health. I don't want to go off sick. I want to carry on working, but I need a little bit of help to work through stuff in the background. No, it took him about 2 months of me constantly sending emails, constantly nagging him face to face. But I'm just that kind of person who will just keep asking for it. Whereas I know a lot of people who will ask once, say, I'm really fucking struggling, help me. And when that help doesn't come, that's it. They'll just stand back and say, right, well, I've tried and I can't deal with it. And they either quit or they hurt themselves because they just can't manage it properly. I did manage to eventually, I went off sick. Then I went and finally got my occupational health because then it was on the books that I was off sick.
mm.
So they couldn't hide it anymore. And I got a fantastic psychiatrist in London. His name was Peter something. And we had 6 weeks over, I think, Zoom, Teams, whatever it was. But he was fantastic and really helped me with PTSD. And after that, bless him, he was like, Dagna, I wish you all the best, and I hope we never see each other again. In a way of like, I hope you're never that sort of affected by anything. So technically, there is some support in place. how accessible it is and how does your manager care, and how much the higher up management, whether they care or not, that's a huge impact, because you can ask, or it should be automatic sometimes. If you've had let's say a death in custody, it should be an automatic care team, the trauma risk team coming in, getting bam, 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 literally a checklist. How are you feeling right now? Let's signpost you to 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I'll speak to you in a week and I'll see how you're dealing with this. Because after a week, your brain would have processed some of it. And then I'll speak to you in a month and I'll find out how you're coping with it. Are you struggling? If after a month you still having, like I said, nightmares, flashbacks, stuff like that, after a month I'll refer you somewhere else.
Have you
That
ever
doesn't
found
happen.
have you ever found someone unalived?
I haven't. I've found people actively attempting, and I
Yeah.
had to. That was the incident that I had to get into therapy after, because I found people suspended, and that really didn't bother me as much. I
Mm.
found people actively self-harming, like cutting and stuff. Didn't bother me. Not on that kind of emotional level. Like, I obviously was very empathetic and I was trying to help them, but it never affected me. But then I literally found a lad who was halfway through it, and it was the noise, the face. It was
Yeah.
horrific. And I had to nag my manager. I was like, I am not coping. I am not coping. Help me. Help me.
Yeah, I've heard that the support there is awful. Because officers used to speak to me like I was their best friend. Like they'd always be hanging around my cell, and they would freely, openly just talk to me like I was a human. To be fair, and they would say the
Yeah.
support in
I was
prison
one
is
of
horrific.
those. I was one of those when we had, like, let's say we had our like steady cleaners kind of thing, and they were on the job for like months and months. Like, you see them out all the time. They are with you. Like, you've got like some kind of like a working relationship.
Mm.
And honestly, a lot of them were really sound blokes. And you could have a normal. That's what people don't really understand. You can just have a normal, genuine conversation.
Yeah. Well, we're
They have,
still human.
you're not just there to stand there and be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm just a glorified door opener, and I'll just open this gate, lock that gate.
Some of you are like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I fully get it. But that job should be based on your interpersonal skills, and it's these days is not. It's literally just filling the spaces. So, right, let me see if I can. We can see your screen with a reflection from your watch. Oh, I'm really sorry. I might take it off.
I think that was
Um,
ages ago.
Robson, what's your best memory being an officer? Babe, I don't know. That's my boyfriend coming from work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a
Meeting your
lot of
boyfriend?
it's we were in the same prison, as in working, not inmates, before anyone asks.
Yeah, yeah.
We met in the same prison. And the best one, I don't think there was like one huge one. It's just a lot of little ones together. It's the little things that mattered so much more. Being sat with a lad who's been in a maths course for ages and never passed his maths at school, and he's like 40 odd, and you're sitting with him and you like telling him, you can do this, and he goes and passes. Fuck me, what a celebration that was.
I know, it's a big achievement for some people. They can't even read
It's
or write,
huge.
man. So, and the good thing about prison is no matter how many prisons you move to, as soon as you land in the new prison, you have to do an English and maths test. And if you don't pass your level one in English and maths, you are forced to do it until you do. So that's your job. Well, that's what it was in the two females establishment I went in, and you get a city and guild in a government prison. You actually get the city and guilds certificate, so it's actually a qualification, like you do level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Whereas in the private prison, it's a fake piece of paper, and that actual company they use doesn't exist. They've just bought a name and they print it out on a photocopy piece of paper, so it
So
doesn't
it's
mean
not
that means
so
nothing in jail.
who's doing education in private jails then? Is it not Novus?
so you do it, but it's a name or something. But a few of the girls went out and they said that that doesn't mean anything on the outside. But in Send, I actually got the City and Guilds certificate. It is City and Guilds, isn't it?
I think
Is that
so.
who does it? Yeah. So, but even if forget that that piece of paper doesn't mean anything, people still learn to read and write. Like you learn to know when I went to the shop and I want that too. There, like, all them silly little things like that sound stupid to you, but to someone inside that just doesn't have a clue,
But
it's
that's what I
it's
mean.
brilliant.
It's all those little things, and I've recorded few little videos. Like, people don't realize, when a guy who's been locked up since his kid was like 4, let's say, and could never really speak to him properly, and all of a sudden it's been 3 years, kids at school starts learning how to read and write, and the kids write them a letter,
Yeah,
or they send them a little drawn up card for the birthday or something. It's huge. You just don't really see that. Outside you'd be like, oh well, yeah, obviously I got a Father's Day card or a
yeah,
Mother's Day card or a birthday card from my kid. And it's like, actually, it's a huge thing on the out, or people who have been estranged from the children for like majority of their life.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, and I was
huge.
just thinking I used to get little cards made for my godchildren and stuff, like, it just
Oh,
makes your day.
was that why she look like that? Like what? Like a pincushion? I love those comments.
What
I
what
love
was
those
talking about
comments.
me?
Someone just commented why she looked like that.
Yeah, that's
Because I
about talking
like it.
about me.
Oh no, because we like it like that. Thanks.
You just got to keep scrolling, mate. That's what you got to do.
I know. Just, bye. See you later.
Exactly, sure.
Um,
We need to get
what
you a couple of people, some mods in here as well, though, I think.
I know. Well,
But obviously, this is the first live you've ever done, so
I've put
um,
that Lucia
I think
girl person. I don't know.
I mean, it is your channel and it's totally up to Golden Girl, but I think like she might be a good shout
Yeah, I
if
might
she wants
just
to do it. Some people don't like doing it, so obviously you'd have to ask them first.
I'm just trying to read through the comments just to see if there is anything that I've missed. Uh, What about the mother and father that killed the baby and got 6 and 9 years? What about them?
But
I don't
that's
understand.
mad. But that's a good point though. They got 6 and 9 years. I got 11 years for drugs. 11 years my starting sentence was.
Was
And
it?
then yeah, that's what I'm
I thought it was
saying.
like 7 or 8.
No, so it started at 11 and then I fought and got my third off because they tried to take that away from me. And I got it, so then it dropped it down to 7 years, 8 months, or whatever, 7 years, 4 months,
Yeah.
whatever it was, and I served 3 years, 8 months. So regardless, I started at 11 years.
Yeah, for
So
drugs.
so if they got 6 and 9 years, that's their starting point. Then if they get a third off, they went guilty. Actually, I think I don't know if the laws changed to that now, but then
I don't know
they
this
do
particular
half.
case though. Could you Lan Wu or Ian Wu? I don't know, it looks like Lan or Ian. Can you let me know what exact case it is? Because I can't really comment if I don't know what the case is, because the train robber's got 20 years. What's Borstal training, Stevie Wonder?
Borstal.
Borstal. I'm foreign, so you correct me whenever.
Um,
What's that?
Borstal, is that like a prison? Was it Borstal prison? Wasn't
I'm
there?
gonna
I'm
have to
guessing
Google
it's
that.
old school. Oh, my leg's burning.
Type of youth detention center used in. I don't know what that is.
It's funny in Sen because it was an army camp and then it was a man's prison, and then it turned to female. And in my drawers, it had like a guy write a message, because obviously they must have known it was going to be female. Write to me, I'm serving such and such time. This is my prison number. Da, 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 da. And he read it on the inside of the drawers. It was hilarious.
Oh,
Obviously,
you
they
you
knew.
said um the youth training. I was literally just talking to someone, I think today. The lad, he's on TikTok. I think it's called. I don't want to make it up now, but it's like Pork something. It's basically like knife amnesty thing. So
Mm.
he goes, I think he's in London, and he basically says to people, no judgment, nothing. I'm not interested. I'm not here to get you in trouble. I just want to get weapons off our streets, out of our communities. So let me know where you know there are weapons lying around, and I'll bring it forward. Like, I'll take it to police. And we started talking about this, and we were literally making a point, like, if the young people don't have anything else to do, like, I'm in the Northeast, we're pretty much the worst in the country. Like Middlesbrough and Stockton. I'm sorry if someone's from Middlesbrough. Sorry, I know my boyfriend's from Borough. But it's rough as anything. You'll go on some of the estates, and every single person will, well, young lads will have some kind of blade on them.
It's
And it's
mental, isn't it?
horrific. It's mental. And it's like, well, there is no opportunities for them to actually go and do anything. You're putting, young lads, 18, 19, into big boy prisons, and you expect them to what? Not investing in rehabilitation, not investing in life skills, work skills, education. You're expecting them to come out rehabilitated. Put them
I
in
know.
some kind of like youth center, like not youth center, but like a training thingy. You're going in, you're learning discipline, you're learning life skills, you're learning A, B, and C. I mean, I don't know how we used to be run, probably like, beaten in submission. But if we brought something like that back, not beaten into submission, but I don't want to say like kiddie prisons, but
Just
something that's a
something
step
different.
down
Like,
from prison.
yeah, because they're doing it with women with children, aren't they? They've opened somewhere. I can't remember where it is. So it's a prison, but it's not. They go in with their children if they've got kids or a kid. And
There is a mother and daughter unit, I think, in Peterborough.
yeah, they had one in Bronzefield that I
Yeah.
see. Like, one of my friends was pregnant, went on there.
Mm.
Um, Oh my God, I'll never forget. Do you know what the most maddest memory? I think I'd have a prison, and I often forget about it. A girl gave birth in like a cell's a few doors down across. So basically, so you have the mother and baby unit,
Yeah.
and you've got to qualify to get on there. So one, you've got to not have social services involved. So obviously there's a lot of girls in there that have previously had their children taken or whatever. So what happens is they go to hospital, give birth, their child's taken away, and they're sent back to prison. So if you're legible to basically keep your child, and your child, if it's more than I think it's a year and a half, and you're serving that long, your child has someone to go to on the outside, then you can go on the waiting list. And also, it depends on rooms. So
Yeah.
anyway, this one girl wasn't legible to go on there, and I remember all I can hear is I woke up at about 12 o'clock at night, and this girl's just screaming, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" And it was going on for quite a while. It was really sad. It was really, really, really sad. And then the next thing you know, you literally everyone's just quiet, like no one's saying anything. Obviously, everyone's awake. The next thing you know, you just hear this baby crying. And it was the most maddest, amazing sort of thing I've ever experienced, because you just hear this baby, and it was just like, oh my God, and everyone's screaming, congratulations. Then the ambulance has turned up, and the
Yeah.
girls from the landing basically said that they could see down, and the two officers were just stood there, and all they was doing was kept throwing towels in the room. Now I'm guessing it could be for if something happened to that baby, she could then sue the prison if the men were in there. So if anyone was in the room with her, then obviously they could be done for if something happens. So anyway, the ambulance has turned up. She's gone off to hospital, but this is not the worst bit. She's gone to hospital the next day. She's come back, bearing in mind social services have just taken her baby off of her. She comes back, she goes to her cell, and there's still blood everywhere, like all over the place. And the officer turned around and said, "It's your blood, you clean it up." There's no aftercare for that girl. No one supports that girl. There's no support from the prison. It's literally us prisoners. That's got to be the most insanest, sickest, amazing, twisted fucking thing I went through in prison, if that makes any sense. Because just to hear a baby cry is just like, wow,
No,
like you don't
it doesn't
like
happen in
no,
prison.
but knowing it's just been born, like unless you have your own baby, you're never experiencing that.
No,
So it was crazy, but yeah, it was inhumane. It was the most sickest thing and the worst
that's
thing I
disgusting.
ever seen the prison do to somebody. I see I see indirect racism, like,
Yeah,
if you know what I mean, like you know they're racist, but they don't say I'm racist.
yeah.
But that's got to be the worst thing. That I think it was worse the fact that he said it's your blood, you clean
What
it
do you clean
up,
that up?
than them not even supporting her.
Yeah.
I know everyone was fuming. I
I
even
would
got
think.
goosebumps. Like, pardon?
I'm just saying, like,
Nice.
that's disgusting. Like, I
Yeah.
just couldn't imagine that.
No, that
I
just
mean,
they just.
the officers stood there outside. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I would be in that cell with that woman. With what's up, Ginger Man? What's up, baby? Ginger Man just came over to give me a bit of a nod. My little cat.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, no, I mean, obviously they called 999. Obviously, it took a long time for the ambulance. You know
Yeah.
yourself, it's not that clean cut. They've got to get through the gate. They've got to stop in between the two gates. The
They need to
ambulance got to
find the
be checked.
OSG, so it's
You
called
know,
the
they
V
can't
code,
just
and they
go
need to
straight
go through
through.
sterile.
Yeah,
It's a
so
whole thing.
it's
It's
just from the minute that ambulance turns up at the prison gates, it can take half hour for
yeah,
that van to get through.
yeah.
So that's then the big problem. So
And that's not from the moment when things started
they've
going
called
bad.
it. She's gone into labour. You know that I believe 100%. I don't doubt for 1 second they didn't call the ambulance straight away. It's just the fact that um they just stood outside. But one of the girls wrote down the exact time they heard the baby cry. So we're like, look, we've got the time your baby was born. Like,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah.
so
Oh.
cute.
I
Oh,
think
bless.
her birth. I think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was long. I think it. I'm just rough. It was about maybe 15-20 minutes, and then
But the
from when
thing
I
is,
was
when you
woke
get to
up,
that last
the baby was
stage, it can
born.
literally just go sometimes. And oh, bless her. I can't
But she was
imagine.
screaming. It was just
I can't
constant, like, please
imagine.
help me, help me, help me. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got no pain relief. You've got nothing, absolutely nothing. Not that I know
Nah,
what it's
I
like to have a
wouldn't care.
kid, but
I would literally see that, but that's me. I would literally be like, you can sack me. I don't care.
but
Preservation of life and that level of care, that's just being human.
yeah, but I think
Uniform
as
or
well,
no
was
uniform.
it just two males that were there that could stand there? There was two male officers, so they're putting themselves at more of a risk than what a female officer. You probably would have been safer to go in. Men aren't
Yeah.
built like women either. They don't have that emotional. I
No. And
mean,
they
are
probably,
you?
at the same time, they probably wanted to give us some space as well because you've just given birth. So there was blood everywhere and like you're probably naked and
I
just
know,
made
I
you some.
know.
It depends. Was it overnight? Did you say, Fran?
It was in the night. Yeah, it was night. It
So
was like
night in prison
yeah, it
are
was
like
like
you.
midnight.
I mean, I don't know how Bronzefield was or Send, but ours we literally just have one OSG on each wing,
Yeah,
and then there is 3 to maybe 4 if you're lucky, but usually there is 3 officers plus the orderly officer, so a manager, and
yeah.
then
So
obviously yeah, go on.
sorry, I was cutting you off. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I don't even. I can't, I've already forgotten what I was gonna say.
Sorry. So basically you sometimes you'd be even lucky if there was an officer on the wing. The reason
Yeah,
I know this because I was a listener and I was an induction worker, so we would come back late. I could go out at 1 o'clock in the morning to a call to a prisoner. So I'd come back and there would be no officer. Now there was two officers, they were called puppers, they were like night staff. They're the only two officers. One of them would have the key, but them two were together. But they were the only ones that had a key in the prison because there were so many SAs by male officers. So no one on the wing would have a key at night time.
would
So
that be the reason? Really?
yeah,
Jesus.
but yeah, it was bad because a lot of men were going into the women's room back in the day. I'm talking like 10 to
Oh yeah.
15 years ago. They were going into the women's cells and they were SAing them. And because the night staff had the keys, so obviously it then became that no one could have relationships, no one could be SA'd, no things and phones could be passed through the rooms at night time. Then obviously the cameras then became on the landing
Yeah.
only, obviously, and yeah, but so it'd only literally be well one set of keys, two officers. So if an officer was at the other side of the prison um, and something kicked off the other side. So I've been locked in a cell with, well, me and another listener for like an hour after the call finished because when you go and have a call out, you must know how the listeners work. We get locked in a cell. Now we have to wait for the pupper. We have to wait for the night staff. We could
We
be sat there
never
for an hour.
we never locked listeners in.
So at night time, in the daytime, it was one listener. So if I had a call out, if I was on duty on the day, I'd get called to the cell would just be left open. But from the minute we were locked in at night, it'd be two in case something happened, even though you
Yeah.
weren't allowed to touch them if they attacked you. Two of us would go out on a call. Yeah, we were locked in. You had to be locked in. Anywhere we went in the prison, we was locked in the cell with that prisoner. So they could be ready to take their life. They could be ready to attack you. They could have a weapon. They could want to, you don't know what mental state that
No,
prisoner's in.
literally that never happened for us. It was even on the night, all the response would go over. So the 3 or 4 officers or the orderly, because you would need to ask permission to open the door, blah blah blah, and the door would stay open, and it would either
Yeah.
be there sat with an officer. I mean, as an officer myself, like I usually got involved, even if they ask for a listener and stuff like that. By the time the listener got there, I was already talking to that person, but I was a trained negotiator as well. So for me, that was already like it's a normal step,
Mm.
natural thing for me to literally neighborhood
We
watch it.
no, we used to get
Literally.
called out at like 3, 4 in the morning because in Bronzefield, unless you was enhanced, you had no hot water. So it was on the wing. So you had to fill your flask up. You was only allowed a kettle if you was enhanced. So they used to call us in the middle of the night, like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and they'd be like, "Officer, let me fill my flask up well before I go in," so they could get hot water. So hot water bottle or tea, coffee, whatever. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
No, we always got the little kettles
Yeah,
in the
that's what
cell,
Sen had.
and then they would have one smelly kettle. So that was always with like a fabric conditioner
Oh.
and like warming up so the cell smelled nicer, and I've always appreciated that. And the other one would be a normal kettle, and then sometimes there was a third one, it was a cooking kettle, and they will cook like curries and
Yeah,
stuff
we
like
did it,
that.
and the whole room would fucking stink. Someone's just asked what exactly is a listener, so it's quite a good question. It's
Yeah,
so basically, the prisoners like myself, you'd have to be a well-behaved prisoner to be able to apply for it. You would get training with the Samaritans. I'm
yeah.
obviously guessing you know what the Samaritans are, and
I
then
mean,
we would,
you have to like apply for it first. Like we as
yeah,
officers have to like also fill it in to say like, did you have any negatives, whatever, and then you send it off to Samaritans, and then they
yeah.
come back and say, oh, we're gonna take you on to like training and stuff.
Yeah, so then you do like I think it was 6 weeks training. Then you'd have a graduation where you're like 4 family members could come in, and you'd have a graduation. You get a certificate,
Yeah,
so you're actually fully trained by the Samaritans, as anyone would to go outside and answer the phone. And then basically we'd all be on. There was about 6 to a team, and you'd go on a rota. So if another prisoner was struggling, they didn't want to talk to an officer, and they had no family members, they would ring their buzzer, say to the officer, "I want to see a listener." And then we'd go out, and then we wouldn't talk. The hardest bit was you're actually trained. So if someone said to me that they were going to unalive theirself that night, we wasn't allowed to guilt trip them into the what about your family, what about your kids, X, Y, and Z. We'd have to go, how are you thinking about doing it? What, have you got something in your cell that you're going to use?
Yeah.
And we
It's
was
safeguarding
not,
first.
yeah. And do you know the worst bit was, if an officer, when we got come out of that call, if an officer said to me, "Are they okay?" I had to respond, "You're not allowed to ask me that." I wasn't even allowed to tell an officer whether they were suicidal, whether they were okay or not. The only time we was to report a call back to the officer was if it was to do with terrorism. We was not allowed.
Oh,
If I went back and told an officer that they wanted to unalive themselves and they needed serious watching, I would lose my listener job and everything. The only time we were allowed to do it is in a meeting. We'd have a meeting once a week with the Samaritans, and we would discuss it with them. So we'd basically debrief. So we would have a meeting to see how we was and how we were coping with all the calls. So
yeah.
we had amazing support to deal with it, but that
Yeah.
wasn't the prison. That wasn't the
Mm.
prison. That was the
No, that's
Samaritans that
Samaritans.
came in from the outside.
Yeah. I mean, the peer support, so there is several different like peer support prisoners. So you've got the PID workers, so they are the ones that help with filling the apps,
Yeah, I did that as
for
well.
like applications. There is or we had what's it called? Care
Recovery
leave,
mentors. So
care
I done
leavers, care leaver
drugs.
support. You get careers mentor. So that person usually went to like education first, and they helped you get a job. You get for care leavers, you got obviously listeners. I'm trying to think now what else there was, but there was like several different people designated to like help you, at prisoners wise, not just
Yeah, I
staff.
was about to say it was all prisoners though. I was a
Yeah,
recovery mentor, so that was supporting women. I'd have one-to-ones with women on drugs, coming off drugs, again because the prisoners don't trust the staff, so they would confide in me and say, "Fran, I messed up. I smoked today or done whatever." And then I also done the induction work where you'd meet and greet the new prisoners coming in and
yeah,
support them.
yeah. We had an induction orderly. So there was a reception orderly where a bloke would literally be in reception and saying, "You're right, lads, this is the body scanner, this is where you get searched, which prison did you come from?" Just like a little bit conversation. So they, the cannot blame the yeah, I fully agree, Hannah. Cannot blame the prisoners for not trusting the staff. I don't blame them
Yeah,
for
and so
for
some of the
some
things are
for how
right.
some people are treated. I don't blame them.
The things that are brilliant in prison and that that are going right are to do with prisoners.
Yeah,
There's nothing else really. Do you know what I mean? Like it all boils down to the prisoners. People get, I'd watch, oh my God, I'd see like 6-year-old women come in, bawling, petrified. I'd see 18-year-old girls because Bronzefield was 18
wild,
upwards, yeah. And they would be petrified. And then and I remember taking one sort of, she was like 60 something, and I took her back to, it was one of the roughest wings in the prison, and I said to like one of the like rude girls on there, like she was proper bad girls, like like look after her, when she's like, yeah, come on mumsy. So
Ramsey.
and it was amazing because a lot of people did just take people under their wing. So and it was, people were just so shocked that everyone says, the support is from the women. Like it literally that it was all prisoners. There's no support from the officers. Sorry.
Are we both laughing at the last comment?
Yeah. I'm glad we aim to be funny.
that's what the life is about when it's between us.
Talk
That's
tough.
we
Are we
should be
talking
talking.
talking tough? We're talking about supporting other people, mate.
Yeah,
Make it make
mental.
sense, mate.
Do you think mandatory therapy from inmates and staff in prison would help? Hang on, mandatory therapy from inmates.
And
Can you
stuff.
elaborate? What do you mean from inmates?
I don't know if it was meant for. Yeah. So mandatory
Oh, not.
therapy.
Oh, so do you
So
mean together or like because it depends on the prison. They do have. I'm gonna put it in big quotation marks. They do have some mental health support, but and there is. We literally had, and again, don't take it the wrong way. Some prisons are maybe brilliant in that aspect. Maybe they've got loads of psychologists or whatever. Ours was dog shit. Okay, we had one psychologist that was generally a trained psychologist. The rest of them were mental health practitioners. They were nurses. There were people that were trained a little bit in mental health, but they weren't clinical psychologists. And her list, bless her, was that long. It was an essay, and she couldn't keep up with the demand. So yes, there is some therapy for the prisoners to work through whatever they are working through, but it's not consistent. It's not, if she goes, let's say, on sick or she goes on annual leave, that's it. No one gets seen by a psychologist that week.
So yeah, so ours is a bit different. So there is mandatory therapy for certain people and certain crimes. So like there's Wrapped that I told you that I did the 5 first steps to AA.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
that wasn't mandatory for me, but it will be for other women. So if other women's crime is due to drug addiction, that would be mandatory. And there was 3 therapists on there, and it's the best thing I've ever done in my whole life. And then there's I can't think what the other one's called. It's for a lot of women that have either unalived someone or something to do with children. That's a really that's like months long therapy, deep. I can't remember what it's bloody called.
I wouldn't
Oh,
know because we never had
yeah. So
anything to do with children. We didn't have them.
there is a lot of mandatory courses, but some are run by they're not prison officers, but they might as well be. They're not therapists, but they are people that do kind of work in that line. So in the female establishment, there is for prisoners. Obviously, I don't know about staff.
But what do you mean it's mandatory for them to? Is it as in it's within the sentence plan, or is it a case of you need to now get out of your cell and go to therapy?
I don't think they could do that though. That wouldn't be right because
No.
not everybody needs it. So I feel like when you put it the way I've explained it, it makes sense. Due to your crime, due to your
Yeah.
addiction, have you come in positive? Because as soon as you come in, you come through, you get your ID card, you have your picture taken, you speak to a prisoner quickly, and then you come out, and then you have to see a doctor when you're in reception. You can't
Yes.
go back to your where you don't get a cell until you've seen a doctor. So they drug
You mean
test
a
you.
doctor? For us, it was always just nurses. We didn't have a
Oh, okay,
doctor.
a nurse. Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they had to be like sort of assessed medically, and they would not. And I would, oh my God, I would argue so many times because I was on induction wing for a couple of, I don't want to say couple of years, a year. And the amount of times you would radio for healthcare, and it's like, it's 6 o'clock now, mate. Like, I want to go home. I understand you're doing other people's meds, but just nip in, see them for 10 minutes
Mm.
and carry on with your day. I'm not waiting till 8 o'clock with them out. Let's say we had a bus of 6 coming in, and I've got all of them 6 without food, without anything,
Knees.
just literally sat in the source room, just waiting for a nurse. Like that, I was mental to me. But I will give them credit where credit is due. We had really, really good nurses, and I loved them. They were really like because we've known each other for quite a while, for a few years, majority of them anyway. And we had a good working relationship, and I've always, when I rang them, I was like, I need you now. Like, I wouldn't be asking if I didn't need you. So I'm not just ringing you on an off chance. Please, I need you. And they would come in, and they were doing a cracking job. They were short staffed and stretched so thin, but they were doing a good job. But there is a lot of prisons where that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's, there's so many comments, especially on TikTok, um, where people are like, oh yeah, they live in luxury hotels, these places, stuff like that. And I'm like, really? Because a hotel would give you basic medical care and first aid if something happened to you. In some prisons, that doesn't happen. So what do you mean a luxury hotel? We're not arguing, comfy mattresses. We're not arguing comfy pillows. We're
Mate,
arguing
the mattresses are if they go thin and
they go
and that
thin,
and
thin.
they go thin and your date on it is not for another 16 months. You've got to wait 16 months to get a new mattress. Like it was bad. Like, you've got big, massive rats like that running around your landing and stuff like that. Like yes, in the room it was a joke. I had a DVD player, PlayStation, GHD hair straighteners, CD player, freaking like it was insane, like yeah, that was a joke. I'm sorry, but I feel like it's give these
But
people luxuries to make your life easier.
but did you have to buy it yourself, or we're just given it?
No, obviously I had to get it from the outside, like my people. Well, the hair straighteners were mine anyway, which I brought in once I was
Yeah,
enhanced. But DVD player, I just got brand new sent in. The
yeah.
PlayStation, you could only have a number two or something like that, so you had to buy
Yes,
it.
it's either
But
PlayStation 2 or
but
Xbox 360.
Yeah, yeah, but it's still a fucking luxury. Like, come on, like, and I know the only reason we're getting this is to make your life easier. Like, it's facts, mate. Because if we didn't have a PlayStation and a DVD player, the amount of people that are
You
coming
would
in
be bored
prison,
shitless.
no, but it's not even that. Yeah, you wouldn't cope with us because
No.
we've got a distraction. So the reason we get all that is because the officers can't handle us, and that's facts, mate. And if we're sat there and we can be zoned into a game all
Yeah.
day, then your job's easier.
But it's not even that. Like, I just always listen to those people, and I'm like, well, actually, looking at, let's say, Norway, you literally going to prison is your punishment. That's it. That's where it ends.
Yeah,
So
that's what it's supposed to be, isn't it?
you losing your freedom. You're not losing, a right to basic medical care. You don't, lose
No,
the
of
right
course,
to
yeah,
have nutritious
but
meals. You don't, you shouldn't be losing everything. Yes, if you misbehave in prison, yeah, that's a punishment to get a telly off or whatever. But you should be having everything that's on the outside
No,
inside.
see, I did. So my opinion, 100%. Yes, we should have a TV. Like that's inhumane, and like you said, and that is it. Your punishment is being taken away from your family and the luxuries. Yeah, and I agree with that. But I just think it's so easy to have a PlayStation. It's so easy to have like hair straighteners, hair clippers. All the shit you can buy off Canteen, mate. I've
Yeah.
cooked up food I've never even cooked up at home. I could make curry in a microwave and it was banging. Like,
Oh, the best ponytail from
it's
a kettle, mate.
but yes, it's great for us. But if I'm just saying reality of the fact of it is like, is a PlayStation like that's a luxury. That's like
Yeah.
a TV.
Not
A
everyone has it at
TV
home.
is to keep you sane. Some people with mental health can't sit in a quiet room.
No,
Like, I
I couldn't.
couldn't. That would screw my mental health up. It's not exactly a luxury when you've got like 6 channels. Like, it was only because of
Exactly.
COVID it went up to 18, and all they done was played the same shit all day, every day. The same music. It was like it was
Way
on
out
a gig.
TV.
But it's a debatable argument. I see it from the other side. I had the best dental care in prison, and for me, with the medical, mate, my best mate died in prison due to neglect of the healthcare. But when I had the experience of it, they were amazing. I lost like 4 stone in 10 months, something stupid, 3.5 stone. They took 5 tubes of blood. They sent it all off, tested me for cancer, everything, absolutely everything, because my old man had cancer. So they could have just gone, "Oh no, you've just lost weight." Like, do you know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
thought it was a lot quick, and they'd done all that. So
And Hannah, I do understand. Like, in a way, I've always said to the lads, like, you don't understand how privileged you are. If you got a tooth knocked out, you can go to a dentist and say, "Can you please put me a new tooth in?" I can't do that on the out. I can't just turn up to a dentist and get it for free. I couldn't. But at the same time, like, that's brilliant. But then I remember, and it was absolutely down to one of my colleagues on a wing. We had a lad who had a really bad UTI, really bad, bless him. And he was in so much pain, so much pain. Like, he was literally screaming, he couldn't walk. And he was literally saying to the nurses, like, one of my balls is literally the size of a fucking bomb, and I just can't walk. It's painful. I can't think it. They were giving him like basic shit. "Oh, we'll get you on the list to see a GP or whatever. GP's only in the fucking prison like twice a week or something. And that's it. And if you don't get down there on time, they won't come on the wing to see you. So if you can't walk down from the wing to healthcare, that's your problem." And
yeah, like
my
seriously though, it's true. That's true.
yeah,
I can
and
clarify it.
my one of my mates, she absolutely stood up for him and said, like, "No, you as nurses are getting down in here now and you're ringing him a fucking ambulance because it's not right. He's in so much pain." I just wasn't involved with him that much. I didn't know the situation or anything like that because I must have not been on a wing that often. And she
Mhm.
just knew him and had the report and said, "You are not leaving him like that." And they took him to hospital. Turns out he had a really bad like infection and lost one.
Mm.
And it's like, had you taken him seriously,
Wouldn't
had
it?
you had you referred him to a proper specialist straight away, or sent him out to hospital and said, "Listen, we need to send him to A&E to be seen because it's that serious, or it can't turn that serious," maybe that wouldn't have happened. But
No, it's true. It's true. My mate, my best mate Max. I think I've mentioned to you before.
yeah, you
Literally,
did.
like
Yes.
I can't see. I can say so many bad things, but I will always say good on a prison. I will always say good because it ain't all bad. And the officers, so she was huge. Her skin was tight, like it was like water retention. They kept giving her the water retention tablets. They weren't doing nothing. Her skin started going all purple and stuff. And the officer was like, rung up healthcare and said, "I don't care about an appointment. She's coming up and you're seeing her." Like that, and they would do that because obviously, we can't see a doctor without
Mm.
doing an application. I could be waiting a week or 3 days to see a doctor.
Mhm.
But they made her go up there quite a few times and they just kept going, "Oh, it's nothing, whatever." Anyway, it ends up she's gone to the hospital and she's got sepsis and she's died literally 2 months after I got out of prison. Like, it's the most horrific, heartbreaking thing, and you look back now and it's like, that's so bad. Like, you see she was neglected by the healthcare, which is the NHS. It ain't the prison.
It is.
People get it twisted. They're two total different departments. They got nothing to do with each other. It's the
Yeah.
NHS inside the prison.
Yeah.
So it ain't officers that are doctors, do you know what I mean? So it's I've seen the flip side of how bad they are.
No, that's just, I mean, like I said, but I think a lot of it is, "Oh, I just don't want the paperwork. I just can't be bothered." And
I
it's
don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't
it's
know. I
mind
don't
blowing.
know.
Like, to us, I feel like wanting to say normal people in a way. Um, I have been dismissed and interrupted by doctors before. Some doctors are amazing. It's the look on the draw with, yeah, it literally is.
No, it
If you get
is.
that kind of officer on the wing that's gonna say, you're going down. I don't care. You are being seen today because you need to be seen. Or if not, I'm bringing the ambulance
Yeah,
myself.
but they done that, and they
Or
done that, and she landed up dead, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like they done that, and they still neglected, and she would go out to hospital rarely, but it would be something else. It wouldn't be about that. So unless the prison put in the report of to why they're sending her to hospital, they're not looking at anything else. Obviously, she might say something, but she don't. You know, it just gets left. But
literally,
you ain't got much
guys,
chance
if
when you've
there
got
is
sepsis anyway. But
any more questions, I want the nitty gritty controversial stuff. Ask me something good. Because I don't wanna end up on a sad note because it is extremely sad. I just as a person, I just got really, I don't want to say emotionally attached, but kind of, because I just felt so bad that I couldn't do it anymore. Like you can only go so far, you can only refer people so many times, and you can only have the same argument so many times with people, and they just start fucking you off. And it's just, yeah, it upsets me to this day. And it's one of the things that I want to work on because I feel like now I'm outside of the system. I've seen how bad it was inside. So even though I'm not in anymore, I just want to change
so,
something.
did you have like privilege wings? Did you have like so? I in Send lived on a privilege wing where it was two wings. It looked like I have to show you a picture. I've got it in the snow. I've got pictures of myself. It looked like Butlins, and
No.
so
So we kind of did, but we didn't. Like there was a little wing that literally had a maximum roll of like 36. Like that was the top kind of thing.
yes,
And that
we
was en suite kind of thing. So they had a shower in the cell.
yeah.
But
That's
then after a while, it wasn't just enhanced prisoner. It
you can
was
see
literally,
there. So I'm taking
oh
a
wow,
picture out of my cell, and that's the mirror image. So there's another
yeah,
wing like that on the other side. It literally, you know, it looks like Butlins, you know, like the things they have
yeah.
there. So we was allowed out. I was
Were you
trying to
allowed out with the snow out on the
yeah.
yard?
Oh no, they were a bit funny. They were funny because if we started fighting or anything like that.
Fucking hell.
I'll show
Did you
you.
have a radiator? Like just
Yeah, that was my bathroom.
uncovered radiator. Look at your little bath mat.
Yeah, I'll show you a better picture. Hang on.
But yeah, it just became, rather than just an enhanced wing, it was just a case of, oh, we don't have anywhere else to put the naughty ones. So we'll put them on the enhanced wing for all the enhanced lad to chill them out.
So
And it
did you
just,
have it? So did you have an association room? That was like my
yeah,
bed. That's the. You can't even see the mattresses, but so we had an association room. So I was
yeah,
just
we
saying, we
did.
just had the maddest parties in there. I was trying to see if I got that was our laundry room. Look how skinny I was. I got really
Bloody
skinny off
hell.
this one. But yeah, that's the laundry room. But yeah, I was just gonna say about parties we'd have, but it's not. Ah, that's when I met Kate Middleton in prison.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Ah, mate. Hey, here's a funny one. This is how two of my imagine I'm on a visit, right? I'm sat there, yeah. I'm sat in a fucking visit. The next thing you know, so bless my friend Marie, she's passed away as well, man. Like, but she was one of my best friends, and she's Scottish, and obviously being Italian, she would go Italian Fran, and I'd go Scottish Marie. All I've heard is Italian Fran. The next thing you know, these two pair of arseholes have walked in on a visit like that, and the officers were talking about it for weeks,
Oh my
just
god,
weeks, but
that is beautiful.
they've even got different sliders on together. Like they've gone and bought it from a thing, and I've just all you've seen, and I've just seen, and I'm just going down my chair slowly like this, trying to hide in the corner. The whole visit hall is full, absolutely full. Like, yeah, my friends are nutters, man. They're wicked. But that's on a funnier
Was
note.
there, other than that, because that would have stood out, what
Fucking
was The coordinated outfits, I love that. But
Mate,
what's the maddest thing you've seen on a visit?
maddest thing I've seen on a visit.
Did you see anyone
Oh,
ever
do you
get wrapped up in visit hall with visitors there?
I blatantly see people passing stuff blatantly,
Oh
but
yeah, that
no one ever took off. But the maddest thing that happened to me on a visit was my friends come. I used to swap trainers under the table. I was like, get me some new trainers. I'm gonna bring an old pair and we'll swap them under the table. I used to do that all the time. But the funniest, the what? Because yeah, I never.
that is actually a really good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
don't do it, kids, but it's a really good
No,
idea.
do it. Do it. Listen, you don't get a lot in there. And when you want a new pair of trainers, you've got to wait 6 months. Not me, mate. My mate's wearing these trainers that are 2 sizes too big. She's like, oh, fucking coming off my feet in that, you cunt. She's like, yeah, you fucking. Like, because she's had to obviously go and buy them and then bring them in and swap them. But
That is
she,
crazy. I've never heard of that, but that is brilliant.
the funniest thing was I did stuff like that, but yet she come on a visit and she sat there and she's gone to get up to go to the canteen. She's gone like that to like you check your back pocket. She's
Yeah.
come back over. She's gone, Franny, Franny, and I'm like, what, what? She's like, I got my fucking phone in my back pocket. She's got a brick, mate, in her back pocket like this, and I'm like, you need to go to the desk now and tell them like now that you've got that on there. I said because they'll think that you're trying to smuggle that in for me. So this poor dear old officer, they're like, who searched you? And obviously, this poor old officer's going to get bollocked, this lady. And she was
Yeah.
quite a nice woman, but I was like, screw that, mate, because, who's
That's
this one again?
Mabel. She just started climbing on the side of my chair, bless her.
Oh, she's cute as hell. She
She's
looks
my little
sassy, though.
baby.
She looks attitudey.
Oh yeah, that's why she's my favorite. But she's like, we always say that she's the runt of the litter because she does nothing but eat, but she's the tiniest one. Don't you? She's my little parrot. Look at her. Yeah. So for anyone that's joining us now, that's
Crazy cat
that's
ladies.
me. Yeah, crazy cat ladies. The cats have come out. Cats are out of the
I don't
bag.
know where mine all are, to be fair. I've got one ginger up
Yeah,
there, and
baby
that's
Mabel.
it. Hello, cutie.
She's got a little pink thingy dot on her nose. Bless her. She's like,
She's
Mabel,
cute.
what are you doing? Can you hear her purring? She's
No,
absolutely shameless with her purrs.
you're talking too much. I can't hear it. I'm joking. I still can't hear
Yeah, I
it.
know. The two lesbians are just talking too much.
I know. I'll talk for England, me.
Oh, yeah.
No, but
Listen, that was my best thing in prison. Like I could talk people down off anything. Ow,
yeah, they
Marble.
probably just behave just so you shut up.
Literally, I said so many times. I was like, you was literally listen to me more than my own kids. Like I loved being in prison. But
Oh
yeah,
no. No,
oh
it's
little
been wicked.
Marble.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of I've got so many amazing memories, but yeah, it's just I think
Right, any more questions? Are we gonna wrap it up? Are we not?
um probably only because I've literally not long got through the door before we've done
Bless you,
it.
I know. I
But
mean, to be
you
honest, it's been like over an hour. I mean, bless you, Hannah. Thank you so much for interacting with us. But if anyone's got any question, oh please, I want a good one. I want to end up on like a controversial one, like proper controversial one. Oh, have you seen all those like pictures about Prince Andrew now coming out? Like all the edited ones
No,
of
I
him being.
haven't. I haven't really been on social media. I think I've just been so bloody busy the last couple of days. Been
Oh, it's
gone all
just
day.
literally everywhere, everywhere of him like being dragged out and someone edited SpongeBob pajamas on him.
Fuck's sake.
I just can't. But yeah, I probably will do an episode on that because that
You
would
got
be.
listen. I mean, I know this. We're on a live, but you do it. Don't matter what anyone else has done. You need to do it. You are
Yeah,
different. You deliver it different. You say different things. You need to do it. End of conversation. This is
yeah.
for you.
Sorry. Yes,
I think
ma'am.
this is for you.
Did you get really frightened? Yes. So for a bit of context, I'm 5'2". I'm not big
I
at
can't.
all. I'm only a wee lassie. And when you're surrounded by big lads, young lads that are definitely stronger than you, that are definitely bigger than you. I mean, you kind of forget on the daily basis, but I did have a couple of times where you just look in their face and you can tell they do not give a fuck.
I
They
think I'd be
will.
scared.
Like I remember it was literally me, my SO, so like my supervising officer. She's the same height as me, thinner than me because I'm a bit chunky, but she's like a stick. And we had this officer, male officer, who was taller than us, but bless him, he was assaulted quite badly and he wasn't quite right after that. So he was very much on a back foot. So he would stand behind us rather than be in front of us. And we had this lad stood in the door, like literally on the doorstep with a mop. And he was like, "You're not going to close my door. I'm going to mop myself and you're keeping the door open." And I was like, "I don't think so, mate." Everyone gets locked in with a mop because it was our jail was booked. Like we didn't have proper domestics. The domestics only come out like last year properly. It was mad.
See, we
So we
wasn't
would
allowed to
always
be locked with a mop. We wasn't
so
allowed
we
anything
would
like that.
we would always say like you're getting locked in with a mop and then we take it off you and that's it. And it's like some people try to blag like, "Oh, leave my door open for a bit so the cell just dries out a little bit quicker." And sometimes I would let that slide, sometimes I wouldn't. It really depended on the person.
And that's not good, see, because that's inconsistent and that's what triggers us.
Well,
Just saying.
I said to them, well, what I did say to them, I was like, if I can, I will let you. If I can't, because
Yeah,
of A, B, and C, because we are about to serve food or we're about to do something, I will give you a reason for saying no. I will never say no because of no.
yeah.
But anyway, so, and he was stood, really tall, lanky lad. And he was in for unaliving someone as well. And you could see it in his face, very young lad. He did not give a fuck whether we're women, whether there is a man, whether there is something.
Yeah.
He was like, "What you gonna do about it?" And he's looking at you and you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision because you're either about to get a mop in your face, like a stick, right, bang, or like you have to decide, or you just walk away. You can't walk away, but you kind of have to because it's, you're making those
Yeah, you're
split
putting
second
yourself in
decisions.
danger.
Like your asshole is nipping like a rabbit's nose. Mine was.
Imagine. I
People
think I
just think
would be
like, "Oh,
worried
well,
in a man's prison.
you don't get scared, whatever." I did get scared, but I never backed down because you couldn't.
Of
You
course
couldn't
you
show
can't. No,
them.
because that's just weakness. Then they come for you more and more
Yeah,
every time you got on that landing, mate. They're
yeah,
coming for you.
yeah. And I literally said to him, and I was like, right. I was like, "This is the last time." I was like, "I'm not playing negotiations anymore. I'm not playing." I was like, These are them rules. Do you know what I mean? Everyone
Yeah.
gets locked in with them off. I can maybe then consider leaving your door for the cell to dry, but everyone gets locked in with them off. That's it. We close the door. That's it. It's simple. You're an adult. You should understand, right? Because I lost my fucking rag with them now. I was like, "Right, step into your cell, please." "No. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? As soon as you lay your hands on me, it's fucking on." And I was like, "I'm telling you now, walk into your cell, please. And this is the last time I'm gonna tell you, are we gonna help you?" And he was like, "As soon as you do this," I'm thinking to myself, I know what he's in for. I know what he's in for. I was like, "Daniel, you're 5'2". What the fuck are you gonna do? You know that your backup isn't exactly two burly men." My SO was just looking at me like, "What are we gonna do here?" This is about to get rough. And I was like, "Nah." And the first thing I went for was the mop. I was like, "No matter what happens, I'm leaving with that mop in hand."
Mate, do you know why I found it so funny you brought up the mop? Because my best mate, who we was talking about, who passed away, she was in for unaliving her partner with a mop. But it wasn't that clean cut, but that's what the headlines say, like literally. And that's why I'm howling and I'm laughing more and more because I'm just thinking, this story sounds familiar, but
Literally the mop of power, like it's literally, oh, we were just howling. And I literally, so it was me, then my female assault, my height, really skinny, bless her. She's lovely, but just really skinny.
yeah,
And then that bloke, and he's trying to talk to him and try and talk to him. And I'm like, okay, this is where we end this. Mops are more dangerous than I
they
thought.
are.
Yeah.
If only mops could talk, eh?
Oh, I know. Listen, the prison ones, they were like metal bars. If you
I know.
snapped them, they're fucking sharp. They are not plastic. But yeah, and we ended up like not fully wrapping him up, but I basically was like, right, I'm grabbing the mop. You help me push him in the cell. That's it. He's not getting the fucking mop. I don't care about the mop anymore. If you can't comply with simple rules, that's it. If you comply with me, that's fine, because I'll never just give you bullshit rules just for rules'
Yeah,
sake. I'll ask you to do something for a reason, and I've always said
yeah.
that. Like, I was fair, and you said, oh, it's inconsistency, but I've always told them, if I can let you do
Yeah.
something, I will. If I can't, I'll give you an explanation as to
You,
why not
you
this
generally
time.
can't though, and that I respect that. I'd respect an officer like that because you are being straight up. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I've always said to them, like, if I'm telling you that I'll do something, I'll always do it. If I can't, I'll still come back to you and say, listen, I've not been able to do such and such because of A, B, and
Mm.
C. But I am following it up, or I'm waiting for a reply, or whatever. This is why I don't have the answer for you yet. But yeah, I was genuinely scared. There was another time where there was one lad in our jail. You looked into his eyes, and I swear to God, you saw nothing. It's the only person that I've ever come across like that, and he was genuinely scary. Stop digging, girl. Just,
No, there
no,
was
but
one prisoner that I know that I know exactly what you mean. I'm not even saying it. They were.
you
It's not
look in
even.
their eyes and there is
But it's not even
nothing.
like. Yeah, it's not even like they're dead behind the eyes. It's not even that kind of saying. It's like serial killer vibe eyes. Like
We
just
always call them shark eyes.
yeah,
Like
it's weird.
great whites. You literally,
Yeah, yeah,
they're just black. There's just dark. There's
yeah,
nothing there. Just empty kind of thing. It's that kind of look, and it's the face as well that comes with it when you're not quite sure. Yeah, a specific coldness, like you don't know if what you're looking at is sanity.
yeah,
It was crazy. And again, he was in for, pardon me, either unaliving someone or attempting to unalive someone. Um, but that was the first genuine, what I would describe as a psychopath, where he did not care. That was nothing. I remember for some reason at some point he was on the servery, and I remember I walked into the wing because he was in my wing normally, but I knew a couple of lads on the servery, so I just started having a normal banter with them, normal conversation, as I usually did, and the ones that didn't know me quickly caught on, and they were like, "Oh, like, what the fuck are you?" kind of thing, and they were like, "Nah, she's all right," kind of thing, and we just had a normal chat. And all of a sudden, he literally looked at me and started laughing, but like a like a I don't really know how to like describe it. It was like manic laughter, like really like put on force, like.
yeah.
And I'm looking at him, like everyone just like turned around to him. I'm looking at him. I was like, I'll wait for him to finish. I don't want to interrupt. And I'm telling you, that was the longest 30 seconds of my life. I was like, so he finished, and I looked at him, and he's like, "Are you all right?" Because
I
he
literally
was
would have said that, like, "You all right, mate?"
like, "Are you okay?" And the lads were like, "Ah, nah, he's just being weird." And I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, because he was literally looking at me like there was just Like, he wasn't with us, and I'm like, "Are you about to jump over the servery and attack me with a fucking spatula?" It was mad. And then, like I said, he was in the seg. That months later, he was in the seg. But I think he stabbed an officer in a fight, and I was in the seg for whatever reason. And yeah, just he would press his cell bell, so you'd obviously have to answer it. And every time I would open his ops panel, I'll be like, what can I help you with? And he would be just there like, I just want to stare at you. And I'm like,
Fuck that.
okay, creep. Thanks. Or he started at some point, it was just weird. He started making out with his ops panel. Whilst because he put his bell on, so I obviously opened the set. And I was like, how can I help? What's up? What do you want? And he would start doing that. And I literally looked at him and I was like, do you know how many dirty protests were in that cell?
Oh,
Do you know how many times
no.
that cell panel was cleaned? I can tell you now, not many.
Oh.
So you enjoy yourself there. I was like, bye. See you later.
Yeah, that is proper twisted.
Yeah, unwell is very politely putting it.
On that note.
Yeah, on that terrible disappointment.
But no, I mean, yeah, like if you're free next week, we could do it again. We'll just flip, like I said, from channel to
Absolutely.
channel.
Date everything is a game into reality. What? Man, remember, I'm foreign. I don't get it.
Yeah, but I'm half foreign, so I don't get it either.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to make this a regular thing, and actually,
Yeah.
for it being my first live, like on my channel, not just being a guest on a live, not reality. I don't proofread. I know you don't.
No, you've done. It's been amazing, and you've done amazing. It's just come to you naturally. So,
But yeah, I bet she watched to the end on other occasions. To the end of what? To the end of him making out with
yeah,
a dirty ops panel? I don't think so. That is not my kink. Sorry.
she finished it off for him.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Yeah. But yeah, no, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we definitely need to make it into a thing. And I've said it on the TikTok that I've put on. If this literally hits off, and I know that there might be only 10 people watching right now and getting
But that's
involved in stuff.
amazing for your first live. It's been fluttering between like 8 and 30 odd, and that is
Yeah,
insane. That's insane for your first live.
I
Trust
know,
me, I've
and
been doing
I'm
it for
so
years. So
grateful. I'm so
yeah,
grateful, and I bet there will be many people then coming back and watching it
of
later on and
course,
stuff.
yeah.
So I'm
But
extremely grateful. Thank you,
don't
Lauren.
don't worry about the views and stuff. You've just started. You're smashing
I'm
it,
not, yeah,
and
and to be honest, I've
it
really
doesn't
enjoyed
matter.
it.
This might only have 5 views afterwards. For example, you could 2 months time, you might have 500 views. If you
Yeah,
look at my lives, they're
fluctuates quite a lot.
yeah, they just
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I've loved it, and I said if this hits as well as the first one did, and we've said it between each other as
and it
well, we
has.
need to make it into a thing. And
Yeah.
Hannah, you gave me that idea, bless you. Watch out for the pervs. Yeah, and that's
I
just the
am the
staff.
perv.
That's just the staff that you need to
Right, oh god, I used to flirt with all the female officers in there all the time.
Oh,
I was
but even from
terrible.
my perspective as a
Even
member
the
of
old
staff,
grannies, I couldn't help it.
the shit that you hear. But again, I was as bad as the men. Like I'm one of the lads, mate. To me it's just words. I can be as crude as.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what gets you through the day. That's why I used to say it's either coffee or whatever banter. Something needs to get me through the day, and it's not gonna be their crap. So,
Yeah.
I may as well bring mine. But yeah,
But
so
no.
we want to make this an actual thing, and I don't know how it would work because Hannah suggested a podcast where it's like ex-female prisoner and ex-female officer, because we do have we've said it last time that we could sit here for hours and literally talk about what
You could,
need to
that's the thing, and
change.
I think the good thing is I normally personally myself, sorry, I keep jumping in on you. I can't help it. Just tell me to shut the fuck up. Um, I normally try and keep it from an hour to an hour and a half as well because people do get bored. Some people don't want to sit and watch this for an hour and a half, but also you try and keep some of that information for the next one. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I could sit here for 10 hours. I could sit here all night and literally
Yeah,
talk about prison. Like I could go all night long.
same. But then
Not
no one would watch 8 hours of
no.
having been in the system myself. You guys speaking out about the flaws is refreshing because it's absolute disgrace. It is, and this is why I started my Inside Out Justice, because I left and I've seen so much wrongdoing. There's a lot of wrongdoing that has been done to myself, to my partner who used to be an officer as well, to my dear friends that are still friends, that have been completely mistreated. Marble, do you mind?
As well, your friends just said you can have guests sometimes, talk about shows sometimes, talk about how important topics. That's
Yeah.
what we need to do on TikTok because we can get people. You said about TikTok, so we
Yeah,
need
and
to
people
do
when
that
they jump
during the
on.
week. Yeah, and then we can also download that, use that for content for both our channels.
Exactly.
Um,
So there's just so much stuff that I've got coming up. There was loads of stuff that you wanted to cover as well, Fran. So
it's endless.
whoever's not subscribed to Fran's channel should be linked in the. Do you know what? Actually, I'll put it in the chat again, so you can find her.
It's just UK ex-female prisoner. If you just put in, it's Francesca
Yeah.
Fattore.
So
But
subscribe to Fran's channel. If you're not subscribed to
please,
mine,
thank you.
subscribe to mine. Give my other videos a watch because I've covered a couple of things. I've covered Lucy, Let Be. My English run out.
We can pick topics as well because I'd like
Yeah,
to touch base, especially on the things that have just come out. So we can touch base on how I'd be
yeah.
intrigued how like Lucy would be treated and your
Prince
what you did.
Andrew.
Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly.
So
Because I know they go in
out an episode.
segregation
Yeah, I've put out an episode
detection.
about Charles Bronson, whatever you want to call him, parole. Did I tell you, Fran? I've emailed Charles Bronson in prison.
Yeah, has he
I've done an
messaged right back?
email to prisoner, um, like an absolute divvy. I was going back and forth with Nathan because obviously Nathan has emailed him before,
Yeah.
and I was like, Nathan, can you just double check if this is the right prison number? And it was like, is he in Woodhill? Is he in Long Lartin? I couldn't find it online. Online people were saying he's still in Woodhill. He's not. He's in Long Lartin. And I've sent him on WhatsApp. I've sent him this prison number, and I was like, is this correct? And he's like, yeah, mate, you're sound. Fucking sent 2 emails to prisoners, paid a fucking nearly £1 for each, right? Because it's not free. You have to pay £1
I
because
know,
then you have to
I
pay for
know,
reply.
I know.
And I was
Yeah.
fuming. And he came back saying, oh, we didn't pass security. And I'm like, why? I was fuming. And then I sent a screenshot to Nathan and he's like, mate, you've got fucking wrong prison number on there. And I was like, I've asked you. I've asked him what it was. So he corrected me anyway. So I've sent him an email. I'm waiting for a reply.
Yeah.
Asking about his parole and whether he actually thinks himself that he is actually going to be safe when you've got the probation that is stretched completely thinner than thin. Can he actually be managed being institutionalized so many years? So I've covered that in my video, and when I get a reply from him, I'm going to do another one.
Yeah.
And we've got the sentencing bill coming out that's going to change the game for a lot of people. We've got Prince Andrew. We've got
Yeah.
Lucy has gone quiet a little bit because there is no new
Yeah.
developments and there won't be. How Andrew will be treated will be another thing. I don't even, myself personally, I don't think he's going to see jail, but we can
If
leave
he
that to
did,
another one.
like we said, there's a lot of topics we could touch base
Yeah.
on, but no,
So yeah,
no,
I
but it's
mean,
been really good. You smashed it tonight. You've done really well for your first live as well. You've done really
thank
well,
you. I thank you
really
so
well.
many, like all of you guys that have come in. Like I really appreciate you coming in. If you can give me a subscribe and a like on the video and go and like go and see a couple of my other videos, leave me a comment. I reply to them all. I make a point out of replying to them all, even the shitty ones. I just like leave little hugs and kisses and leave laughing emojis.
I was like, oh, do you need a hug? I'm sending you lots of love.
It's like, oh, sounds like you're having a really shit day.
Right.
Hugs and prayers.
I'm gonna
But yeah,
love you and
thank you
leave you.
everyone
So I'm
so
gonna get some
much.
food and
Go
get to bed.
to Fran's channel, subscribe to Fran's channel, subscribe to mine. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on next Sunday.
Yeah, no, I'm down. So just let
Yeah.
me know.
Oh yeah, awesome. Right, how do I come off it now?
So on the top left, there's a little X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is my YouTube mum. She's helping me. She's literally like helping me to do
Yeah.
everything. So
The thing is
have a good week.
I didn't really have anyone. Like my brother was quite good, like, but
Yeah.
obviously he'd never done this actually firsthand.
Oh,
So
thanks, Stevie.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, right. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the comments. And yeah, hopefully see you next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Take
All right,
care.
bye.
Bye.